All right, so you've been listening for a while on this podcast, maybe even watching over on YouTube, wherever you're at. And I have not talked much about personal experience recently. I did get into an interview recently and I got through the interviews. Very blessed to do that. Appreciate the people who got me there. How did I do it? How did I get through interviews? And is it just luck or is there a little bit of skill involved? I'll share that with you right now. Welcome to How to Switch to a Tech Career in Your 30s and 40s. It's the podcast where we love to get excited and down to brass tacks, talking about the real things that help you move the needle when you switch from any other career into a high-tech or IT career. And this is where we're going to discuss the real hints, tips, tricks, and the methods and the protocol that help you switch into a real tech career. So welcome. Yeah, real tips and tricks. I don't know if I'll have tricks tonight, but I will have some recent experience that I had and a little bit of the sauce inside baseball, if you will, as to how I handled the interviews I had. And let me just explain. I had a recruiter reach out to me, and the recruiter was very, very helpful, very professional from a very large company, and out of the blue reached out on LinkedIn. So if you're not on LinkedIn, I would highly encourage that you hit LinkedIn and you have a good profile up. You've got your experience there and everything there is it's open for people to see, and you better make sure that what you have up there is really, really enticing and professional. So if recruiters are looking through and trying to figure out, let me adjust my volume here. If recruiters are looking through LinkedIn and trying to figure out who's worth pursuing and who is going to be skipped over, probably going to skip over some of the less professional. And the reason for that, I believe, is because a less professional LinkedIn profile is a risk. And so recruiters are not going to be looking just to reach out to every single person. They're going to look for people who they think won't be risky to reach out to and a waste of time because they have access to everyone. Remember, recruiters probably have all of the inside deals that LinkedIn offers as far as searching and search querying and all of that. So brush up on your LinkedIn profile. And then if you can do anything, it would be to make sure you do respond to LinkedIn requests and LinkedIn conversations and inbox. You know, I did not respond to this recruiter right away. I delayed it by a couple days, and then I did get back, and I didn't really want to pay attention to it at all because I was doing very, very well in the position that I had and had carried this position for about 7.5 years and didn't really want to leave. But I thought maybe there are some options because the job market is pretty tough right now. And so I thought maybe if someone's reaching out to me, I should try to take an opportunity. And so I did. I took the interview, the screening, and then the next screening, and then kind of the third interview, we'll just call it that, was with the company itself and got the new position. So let me describe getting through that interview and those early interviews. The first thing is, number one, when you are being reached out to by someone else, you are being done a favor. They are helping you, okay? Now, you are helping them by responding, but just keep in mind, they are doing you a favor. Imagine all of the applications you've sent out over the years. Maybe it's just a few months, but imagine all of those and all the work you did to reach out and you haven't gotten much of a response. To have a recruiter reach out to you is quite the blessing. It's a nice feeling to know that someone is pursuing you. And now you may not experience that very much or at all unless you're more of a senior in the industry or you're in a field that there are no seniors. You're in a field where everything's new. And I've mentioned that before in prior episodes about AI and some of the new opportunities. So I am in a field, mobile development, where there are senior devs, and I'm not the best. I am not the best one out there, but I'm something. Oh, where'd my transformer go? I'm looking over here. Let's get that plugged in. Hold on. If you're on the audio only, hold on. Almost got it here. Boom. All right, Autobots, roll out. Thanks to Kenny for printing this glorious Transformers wall light. I love it. All right, so now that we've got the Transformers going here, for those of you who are not into Transformers, it's okay. You can still listen. It's all right. All right, so we've got that rolling now. Now, so you might be in an industry where there are not senior people yet. There are only people who are new to it because it's a new technology. But if you are in any sort of industry where you could be reached out to, you've got to make that your goal. Make your LinkedIn profile such that when other people see it, boom, they have got to contact you because your profile is appealing. Now, I've got to admit, I don't know if my profile was that appealing to the recruiter. What I do know is that I do have recruiters reaching out quite a bit to me, and it's probably from my experience, but my experience is shown on my LinkedIn profile. So I've said enough about that. Get your LinkedIn profile all nice and not just pretty, but make it super professional. I will say that for my position looking, kind of professional, I did do a photo shoot with shout out to Hanes Photography. Hanes Photography is obviously hanesphotography.com. I think that's the web address. My son does that, and he took some shots of me, kind of headshots. And I think that probably at least showed, I'm 51, so I'm going to look a little bit older. It showed that I'm older. I bring a little bit of seniority into a younger company. Maybe that was part of it. I don't know. I'm guessing a little bit, but I do have quite a few recruiters reach out to me. So if you can get someone to reach out to you, that's a bonus. Now, whether you had someone reach out to you or you reached out and applied, here is what happens next. Of course, you have just kind of the welcome to conversation. Who are you? What are you about? And all that. Now, how do I get through that? I've explained it so many times, but I think it's worth repeating that this latest time, the mindset that I had was to put on the hat of, I am here to serve you. It feels like I'm not even putting the hat on anymore because that's just, I know that I'm here to serve. But you may have to do that instead of, I'm here to get a job. I'm here to serve you. And you know what? There's some areas that I don't know if I could serve. In the interview, I was asked the screening, I was asked a few questions about this or that technology or part of the stack in mobile development. And I think I can serve you in that area, and other things, maybe I can't serve you in that, or I could do my best. But I've not really done those things. This interview in particular, I think I checked all the boxes. But that's not always the case, and it doesn't really matter if you check all the boxes, usually. So put on the hat, number one, put on the hat of I'm here to serve you. Am I past number one now? I'm going to go with number one for that. Put on the hat, I'm here to serve. The second thing that you want to make sure that when you're talking to the person in the screening call, that you realize that you are a little confidence boost for you. Even though they reached out to you or you reached out to them, it doesn't really matter. You are there to help them. At the same time, they are here to help you, especially if it's through a recruiter. Their job is to help you get the job so that they can get paid and they can help more people. It's not just for them to get paid. They want to increase relationships and help companies. They really do want to help people. A good recruiter does. And I've had good recruiters, to be honest. Very good ones. So just a little confidence boost for you. You're not just there to be be used by them. Let's put it that way. You're not to be used. You're not just someone coming in to serve. You are going to serve, and that may seem contrary to what I originally said. Put on the hat, you're here to serve them, but you're not only there to serve them. You are helping them as well, and they are serving you. So I think that what I would say to kind of clear this up is the mindset I have on that first initial screening call is I want to get past this call to the next one. And in order to do that, I have to be someone that they can see potential in as filling the position they have open. I need to not close the door. I need to, and you need to put on this hat, a second hat here, is to sell yourself for the next interview. To get past this and on to the next one means you need to check the boxes and be someone who's personable and someone who's clearly showing you can work with other people, because that is all that the screening interview is about. The screening call, welcome to, or who are you and who am I, is all about should we rule you out or should we proceed? So, whatever hats you're putting on, take confidence that you're here to serve them, but they're also here to serve you. Okay? So don't just think you're nobody here. And a lot of developers, they get in the head. They're like me, a little bit neurotic at times. And what's going on here? Why am I doing this? I could never fulfill this. A little imposter syndrome going on when it comes time to sit down and actually talk to people. Realize that you are someone of value, and so are they. So treat them with value, but don't treat them like they're God. They're not God, and you're not either. So how about we just serve each other in this call? And yeah, I think this will work for us if you think it will work. If you don't think you want the job after the screening call, then you can say, I'm not sure if this is for me. Now, getting past that original screening call, I'm pretty sure I had another couple calls with the recruiters, not couple, but another longer call with the recruiter, and just to talk more about myself and background and get some more details about the position. And then, that wasn't really a screening. It was just more informational. But then talking with the company is something that I did, and you're going to have to do that as well. I don't remember any situations in my career where I've had a lot of contracts and a lot of jobs. I don't remember any position where I didn't actually talk to anyone from the company. I think when I worked for Mayo Clinic on a contract, 6 months extended to 18 months total. Before that, I talked to Mayo Clinic only once, talked to the recruiter a bit, and then Mayo Clinic only once. So that was really quick. So that was a time saver. Now, in the talking with the company, here's what I'd like you to keep in mind, and I'll just share what I did. So I headed in there with a lot of information, and I will say a good recruiter will prep you a lot. I have gone cold into companies without a recruiter, and often this is the case for a recruiter that the company owns. So if the company is employing a recruiter, in-house recruiter, or in-house hiring manager, you may not get this. But an external recruiter company or consulting company, you should get this. And if you're not getting it, I would encourage you, ask for it. See if they'll give it to you. This is prep for the talk with the company. Prep for the first interview with the company itself. So now we're talking, talking to developers that you'll work with, talking with the project or product owner, project manager or product owner in a Scrum team. You're maybe talking to a stakeholder a little bit, maybe not. But definitely talking to some peers and maybe a senior that would work over you, for example. And so when you're getting ready, you want to be prepped. You want to know the answers to questions like, who's going to be on the call? How long have they been with the company? What do they do for the company? What are the things they're looking for you to fulfill? What are some good questions that they're really wondering about? You want to know all of these, and you also want to be told, hey, Brooks, come up with questions. Be ready to talk about the company. Show that you're excited for the position. Show up a few minutes early to the interview, whether on site or whether on Zoom or wherever it is online. And so the purpose of the recruiter, a good recruiter, is to make sure that you don't blow the opportunity in the small things. When it comes down to it, the recruiter cannot tell you exactly what questions are coming up because they don't know. But they can tell you a little bit about the company, what it's been like to work with them, some of the personalities of the people that you will be talking to, and you got to get that info. And if you don't have that, it's more difficult. So be prepared for talking to people, even if you think you've got this. Did I think I had this job in the bag? No, I did not. And that's just because I know better by now. I think I have something in the bag and I don't. It's usually when I don't think I have it, those are the times when I get it in the end because of an attitude of humility. So God has built us to be servants to all. And if you're like me, you might not be, but you have read the Bible and you know that Jesus, it says in Philippians, that Jesus was king of all, but he became servant of all. So if you don't believe that like I do, put your trust in him for your life, well, you can take this example. It won't mean as much to you, but you could imagine that the president, whether you like him or not, imagine that the president who deserves a lot would come and mow your lawn. Now, that's a good example, but that's even someone to serve the people, hired to serve the people. Imagine a king, though. The king of Saudi Arabia, for example. I think that's an active king, maybe a prince. I think there's a king. Help me out, listeners. Is there a king of Saudi? I think there is. But anyway, if the king, who is not elected, would come and mow your lawn, or change the oil in your car, or scrub down your toilets, okay? That's the picture. And so from that picture, we think we are built to do this. Even the best of us were meant to serve others. And that is how you're going to get fulfillment in this life. So when you head into this interview, have some confidence, but also some humility. And that's probably the biggest tip. You're probably very smart. If you're listening to this, you're probably very smart. And I'm not saying you're smart because you listen. But if you are listening to this and you're trying to switch to a tech career, you're onto something or you're just incredibly intelligent and persistent. But I think that if you're trying to get into a tech career, you're probably figured out some things. And that requires some intelligence and some things that you've conquered. You're proud of a lot of things, but here's the problem. And a lot of people call this a pride month. I would not go for that. I would not say, let's be proud. I would say, let's be humble. How about a humble month? June could be humble month, where we go into every situation saying, you know what? I am only where I'm at because I stand on the shoulders of giants. Everything I've gotten, I've learned from someone else. I came up with none of this. And that's the attitude you've got to go in to with the interviews. I honestly think that the reason some people have not gotten positions at companies, I've seen it happen in the companies I've worked for and been helping with hiring for. And I would say that the reason people don't get positions often, maybe most often, is not because they don't have enough intelligence, but because they have a lot of pride. And that leaves us a sour taste. When people think you're going to have to work with them or maybe even work under them, that leaves a sour taste. So take it from me, an older guy here. Humility. Put on the helmet of humility. How about that? And be the king who can serve others. That is a true servant king. Okay, those are my biggest tips. And I hope that's been helpful for you. I think that all the technicalities and checking the boxes off the requirements for the roles you're applying to, those are things you can work on by yourself. And when you check those off and get confidence in those, when you become a professional, you can profess that you are doing these skills. Whatever role you're pursuing, when you can profess that you do those skills, You're going to become a professional because you've gotten confidence doing them over and over and over. And that is the confidence you want to take into the interview. And if you keep doing it, of course, you're going to have some people reach out to you. That may take a couple years or more. If you're still pursuing other people and you're not having recruiters like I am, having them reach out to me, I would encourage you, keep going. It takes a long time to get the confidence and the background and you can just keep doing projects on your own, okay? Keep doing projects on your own to the point where you start to put these projects on your LinkedIn profile. That will turn heads. It just will. My last podcast, I think that's how I got my first job. I did projects on my own, and I had a few small clients. I don't think they were even really paying me, but I just kept doing projects, and that got me my first web programming job. That is all I have today. I hope it's been encouraging. And if you're just listening, I do put this on YouTube. You can check out the YouTube channel as well. BH Tech Career Accelerator.